Everybody, and welcome to the series, Mind Hacks to Actually Reach Your Goals. This series was designed to be about 8 to 10 minutes a day over the period of time, a few weeks, to literally go through what are the practical steps that we need to take our lives from where we are to where we got to be. Thanks for joining us, and let's get started. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Episode 10, Hacking Your Brain to Achieve Your Goals. Last episode, we spoke about the aggregation of marginal gains. 1%, and you're gonna be doing this more. As you feel this, it's gonna move with you. You'll see. If you're patient, if you go too quick and you resolution it a little bit, right? Tomorrow I'm changing my whole life, you'll blow out. But if you do this right, it'll stick. So we're right in the process of the routine, and it's so critical to get this right and that you get the right skills in building routines, because if you build routines right, they'll stick. They'll create neural connections. That's what you want, right? Remember, the cue is the trigger, gets you the routine. The reward, which we're going to talk about, is what keeps you coming back. But really, it's all coming to the middle. This is the meat. What's going to create those new neural connections? So in building a routine, we need to sort of continuously think it through together. And I want to talk about how to build a routine. And so while you're building the routine, I want to give you another hack. It's called visualization. One of the things that we don't fully appreciate is the power of visualization. Creativity and visualizing and dreaming and all that other stuff is sort of seen as, like, child's play. Like, adults don't do that. We just, scroll on our phone and go to work. Like, we don't imagine, right? We don't use our imaginative power. It's not real. Okay, so that's not true. In fact, some of the most creative, successful, productive adults dream. They imagine. They use their imagination to create things that don't exist. But I'm not even talking about innovation. I'm talking about something totally different. I'm talking about process visualization. What does that mean? So I want to talk to you about a man named Charlie Wolfson. Charlie Wolfson is one of the greatest neurosurgeons in the country, out in California. He's known as one of the few doctors in the country that can do one of the most difficult surgeries, brain surgery, called aneurysm repair. So Charlie Wilson's incredible, and he's got this amazing career. But one of the things that he does before he walks into surgery is he actually sits in his office, closes his eyes, and pictures the entire surgery from beginning to end. He visualizes walking into the room, opening the scalpel, brain, going through everything he's doing, putting it right. And that part of his daily activity is part of the reason why he's so successful. And there's a great story where one day he sat down to do his visualization, visualized the whole thing, went and did the surgery, came back, was walking down the hall and said, something just feels off. He didn't know what it was. It just felt off. He turned around, went back into the room. They were stitching up the person. He said, wait a second, went in and realized that something was still not done properly. Now, how did he know? The answer is because his brain visualized it, then his hands did it. Now, if you remember neuroplasticity, his hands didn't do anything, right? His hands was taking direction from his brain. Okay, so watch how this works, right? When the brain visualizes it, it actually pictures it. So it creates neural connections about the surgery. Now, you're not doing the surgery, but it doesn't matter because your brain doesn't know. In the world of your brain, imagination in real life is pretty similar, right? In the real world, vis-a-vis me, it's, or whoever, it's not similar, but vis-a-vis the brain, right? In that little world called your brain, well, what you imagine and what you experience is the same thing. It's just brain chemistry. It's just neural connections, right? Okay, when you're doing something, you use more brain power, but you don't use your hands in your brain. It's just your brain in your brain. And so feeling off was his brain connections going, hey, something didn't connect, right? And this is a secret that so many great people use, which is your brain can't tell the difference between imagination and real life. It's just all neural connection. And so when you think through things beforehand, you're actually creating neural connections before you do it, which makes doing it easier. Which is why today probably there isn't an Olympic program where runners and swimmers and people that are competing don't visualize the race, the meet, whatever it is, before they get on the track, because they want their brain to picture and fire the right neurons of winning before they get on the track. And there's great research. It's in the book. Great stuff. How visualizing allows you to lose weight and grow muscle and it's incredible just how much sitting and visualizing something actually, which makes sense. It creates neural connections before you have to do it. So when you do it, your brain knows about it, right? So there's two pieces to this, and we're going to use one and one. But the first one I want to use is called process visualization. And that is, you visualize the process before you do the process. And by visualizing the process, two things happen. One, you start seeing the problems before you have to encounter them and then figure out solutions around them. And two, you're now allowing yourself, your brain, to recognize it when you get to it. Okay, so now you're building your routine. Well, before you build your routine, right now you're looking back and going, it'd be great if I every morning go down and make myself something to eat in the morning, right? Healthy lunch. Okay, let's just, again, it's easy. This is the easy stuff. It'd be great if every morning I can come down and, say something nice to my family. It'd be great if every morning I can come down and I could, start my day off, praying, whatever. Pick something. That's your routine. That's what you're adding. That's your 1%, let's say, right? Great. Now you know where you're doing it, right? You're following along. Cue, right time, right? Okay, now, well, visualize it now. Where are you going to be? You know your life, so visualize it. Okay, I'm waking up in the morning. Okay, and then I'm going to go here, and then I'll do that, and in your mind, go through the routine. Visualize it, because two things are going to happen. One, if you visualize it piece by piece before you do it, you're going to actually see where it's not going to work. It looks like I'm going to do it, but it's going to be hard to get to that room. I said I'm going to wake up at 5, but now I wake up at 9, and it's 4 hours. There's no way of getting up at 5. Or I said I'm going to make myself lunch, but to get to this thing, and then I got to get the fruits, but I don't have them. And she's going to come down in a mood, and I'm going to be able to say something. You're seeing the challenges, and now you're saying to yourself, okay, well, then either let me adjust my routine so that it's actually going to happen, or let me work around the challenges. I know I can, when I come home at night from the office, I can probably prep the vegetables. I could, when the morning, I maybe if I encounter that person, it's going to be too hard for me. So what I'll do is I'll wake up in the morning and I'll text them, and that's what I'll do. That'll be my 1% first. Right? Like, the truth is, by the time I get to the office, it's too late, and the car ride, maybe I'll do it I'll start in the house. Meaning you're adapting so that your routine actually works, but either preparing something, like I'll prepare my clothes the night before, so when I wake up, it'll be easy for me, because every time I get up in the morning, I'm always thrown, or it's dark in the room, or whatever it is. When you take a minute, now, if this is hard stuff, and once you start doing this, it gets easier and easier, but in the beginning, it may be hard. You take a minute to actually visualize the process visualization. You visualize the process of what your routine is going to look like. Then you're able to A, make a better process so that it'll actually happen, and B, when you get to the process, you'll be able to actually do it, because your brain will go, hey, I remember thinking about this yesterday. This is it. Let's do it. Right? And it's, as opposed to just coming at it going, hey, I wanted to do this. I didn't really think through the details of it. Right? So when you're building your routine now, and this is the part of the work that we're in, right? Process visualize. Before you do it, don't just say I'm doing it. Like, take 5 minutes, right? Close your eyes, or don't close your eyes, but sit someplace quiet and think through the whole to the end. What you're doing, when, and then while you think through it slowly, all these obstacles will pop up, and you'll either be able to adapt around them, adapt your routine, or prepare for them, so that when you do your routine, your routine's going to actually work. Hopefully that helps. Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in the series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. I hope it really made a difference in your life. And for those that tagged us on social media and shared it, for those that left a podcast review, for those that shared it with your friends, shared it on your status, we appreciate it. It means a lot to us that you felt comfortable enough to share this with others, of people that you care about. If you missed a day, make sure to check out the show notes for the link to the entire series. You can join us on the Unlocking Greatness Insider community by going to charlieharari.com/insiders. And we look forward to hearing your feedback on Instagram and on Twitter and YouTube and WhatsApp and everything else. But really, really appreciate your time and attention, and look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again.